Welcome to Helldivers, a cooperative third-person shooter where you drop into a procedurally generated world, complete objectives, gather resources, and extract for mission rewards. Along the way, you educate the locals about the superiority of capitalism and managed democracy. As traditionally done, this education comes in the form of bullets, airstrikes, and nuclear bombs. First, complete the tutorial. It's pretty easy, just make sure when you get to that pit you have to dot. Hey, good work on completing the mandatory 10 minutes of basic training. Hopefully, you won't realize you are one of millions of expendable cannon fodder. For this video, I'm going to be only going over the basics of every aspect of Helldivers, because if I microanalyze every gun, bomb, and mission type, this video would last 4 hours, and my Adderall doesn't last that long. So instead, I'll give you my personal favorites and most vital information. That way, you won't look like a brokey in front of the players that have been here since launch. After completing basic training, you'll have access to your Super Destroyer. Yours will look a bit different from mine as I've gotten all the upgrades, but everything will be in the same location. First, come over to the Patriotic Administration Center. This is where you unlock new stratagems and ship upgrades. Stratagems come in 3 flavors. Blue ones are support weapons and backpacks. These will largely define what role you have during a mission. If you bring something like the recoilless rifle, your job will be destroying heavies for your team. If you bring the machine gun, you'll be in charge of horde clear. Some support weapons come with backpacks, while others don't. For those that don't, you have the option of bringing your own backpack to enhance your combat abilities, such as a jetpack, a gun drone, or something else.
Helldiver Armor, clear the area!
You only have 4 stratagem slots, so choosing which one to bring will depend on what mission you're on and what your playstyle is. As you play, you unlock new gear, which you can test out to see if you like it or not. Don't worry about unlocking everything in the right order. Remember, it's not about the journey, it's about clearing the map in 8 minutes or we're kicking you. Just kidding, it's about having fun. Like everything in this game, each weapon has its pros and cons, though most do their job well enough. For example, compare the Quasar Cannon to the recoilless rifle. Both are anti-tank weapons capable of one-shotting most heavies, like Chargers, Hulks, tanks, and Bile Titans. The Quasar has unlimited ammo and doesn't take up a backpack slot, but it also has a long charge-up time before firing, forcing you to stand still. It also has less damage, so while I'd be able to destroy most things with one shot, there are a few things like Factory Striders that will require more Quasar shots than what we would take from the recoilless. The recoilless, on the other hand, can be fired as soon as you've aimed, but you have to stand still afterwards to reload, and it takes up your backpack slot. Experiment which ones you like the feeling of more. There's many different options, and most of them work well, just don't bring the fucking sterilizer. Green, or defense stratagems, are turrets, emplacements, and minefields. Turrets are pretty self-explanatory, and usually worth bringing at least one. Just be aware that friendly fire is built into them. You will trigger your own mines by stepping on them, and turrets do not care if you're in the way when they are shooting enemies. In fact, I truly believe that the Gatling turret is specifically programmed to wait for you to turn your back before accidentally strafing across you while tracking a single hunter. There are also gun emplacements that require manual aiming, which are incredibly strong on defense missions. My favorite is the machine gun sentry. It might have the least damage of all, but it recharges very quickly, meaning I can constantly be calling a new one down, and I can use a distraction for heavies to get away from my position. The autocannon and rocket turrets are good for taking down heavies, and mortars are fucking terrible. Not because they're bad at killing, but because they're too good at killing, specifically killing Helldivers. Red or offensive stratagems directly deal damage to whatever area you throw them in. Orbital strikes, which come from your Super Destroyer, and airstrikes that come from Eagle 1. Orbital strikes are simple. They fire for their set time, then go on cooldown before you can use them again. Airstrikes, on the other hand, can be used a certain number of times before you have to send Eagle 1 back to the ship to reload. You can see how many uses remain by the number next to them. In this case, I have 3 napalm strikes and 2 500 kg bombs. If I use one of the 500s, I will have 1 remaining. I will not get it back until I send her back to rearm. If I do send her back to rearm, I lose access to both the 500s and the napalm strikes until her rearm timer counts down. My favorite orbital is the napalm barrage for completely shutting down bug breaches, and the 500 kg bomb for one-shotting towers. Most stratagems can be used an unlimited number of times, provided you wait for them to recharge. The exceptions are the orbital laser and the exosuits, which can be used 3 times per mission. Each time you complete a mission, you'll be rewarded with requisition, which can be used to buy stratagems and weapon upgrades. Stratagems have level requirements, meaning you can't just unlock the 500 kg bomb right away. In the meantime, unlock what you can. You get requisition very quickly, especially at higher levels, so don't be afraid of unlocking the wrong thing. Primary weapons also level up from completing missions. The XP you earn from the mission goes to both your Helldiver level and your weapon level. Even if you didn't use your primary weapon at all during the mission, all your kills could come from airstrikes, and it doesn't matter, your primary weapon will still gain the same XP. Leveling your weapon unlocks new attachments that you can buy and equip from the armory menu. Some weapons have a lot of attachments that fundamentally make the gun better. Some weapons only give you the option of changing out your scope, and some don't have any attachments. Yes, this is dumb, and I hope they give us more in the future. Completing missions will also reward you Warbond medals. Higher level missions will give you more medals, and sets of missions will reward you with each more for each mission completed. You also get these from completing your daily personal order, as well as getting a bunch when the community completes major orders. You will have a max of 250, so use them before you reach the cap. Medals can be spent buying gear in Warbonds. Warbonds are your main method of advancement. These contain new primary weapons, secondary weapons, grenades, armor, boosters, banners, capes, helmets, vehicle skins, super credits, and even a few stratagems. You automatically get the Helldiver Mobilize Warbond, which has 10 pages of increasingly expensive gear. There are also premium Warbonds. These are basically a battle pass, but never go away, meaning you don't need to worry about missing out. Every month or so, Arrowhead gives us a new one. Each one has 3 pages worth of unlocks. Currently, there are 14 premium Warbonds, each costing 1,000 super credits. Super credits are this game's premium currency. You can buy 1,000 credits for $10, meaning each Warbond technically costs $10. Except not really. Each Warbond also comes with 300 super credits, except for Helldivers Mobilize, which comes with 750 credits. This means your first Warbond will cost you 250 credits, and each Warbond after that will cost you 700, provided you don't buy anything in the superstore. You can find super credits during missions. These are at minor points of interest and are found in pods, cargo containers, and bunkers. They spawn in stacks of 10, though very rarely you'll find a stack of 100. This is the equivalent of opening a chest in Fortnite and finding V-Bucks inside. Super credits are shared between all players in the lobby, so if one person finds 10 credits, then every person also gets 10. In addition to Warbonds, you can also spend super credits in the superstore. Most of the gear in there is armor, though there are a few weapons as well. The store refreshes every day with new stuff, but eventually cycles back around. I'd recommend never buying from the store, as the armor is the only thing worth buying, and usually costs a minimum of 250 credits. That's a fourth of the cost of a Warbond. Meanwhile, you can get 2 to 3 sets of armor, plus new weapons, grenades, and boosters in a Warbond. There are a few notable exceptions of stuff in the store that's actually worth getting, but as a new player, I would just stick to unlocking Warbonds and you'll be ahead. Each Helldiver has a primary weapon, secondary weapon, grenade, and armor. Primary weapons include assault rifles, marksman rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, explosive weapons, energy weapons, and special weapons. Energy weapons include plasma and laser weapons. Lasers have unlimited ammo, but can overheat, forcing you to swap out the heat sink. Desert planets will overheat faster, while ice planets will let you shoot longer before overheating. Plasma weapons deal high damage, but they normally have low ammo. Special weapons include the variable, essentially a fancy assault rifle that you can force to fire multiple bullets at once, a handheld flamethrower, and a bolter from Warhammer. Each weapon, with 3 exceptions, has either light or medium armor penetration. Each enemy is made up of different parts with different armor values, ranging from unarmored, light, medium, heavy, and tank. There are also higher values, but those only really matter for support weapons or stratagems. If your weapon's penetration equals your target's armor value, you will deal 65% of your regular damage. If your penetration is higher than the target's armor, you'll deal full damage. And if your penetration is less than the armor, you'll deal no damage. There's also a lot of bullshit when it comes to durability values and how explosive ignores these rules. I have a whole guide on that, so I'm not repeating it here. Secondaries include normal pistols, melee weapons, grenade launchers, stim pistols, energy pistols, a shotgun, and a flamethrower. Since your primary weapon can handle most normal enemies, your secondary weapon is better used as a utility option, such as the grenade pistol closing bug holes from a distance. Armor comes in 3 flavors, light, medium, and heavy. Light has better movement speed and stamina recovery, but has less than 100 armor rating. Heavy is the opposite, having greater than 100 armor rating with worse stamina and movement speed, and also comes with the benefit of having critical hit resistance from headshots. Medium falls in the middle, always having 100 armor rating. This chart shows how much resistance each different armor rating gives you. The highest armor rating effectively doubles your health from the lowest armor rating. Consequently, you are also the slowest in that armor. Helmets are all exactly the same, they don't change your armor rating at all. Each armor also has a passive perk. Currently there are 19 perks spread over the 85 plus sets of armor. Like everything in this game, going over each one would require its own video, but here are my favorites. Extra padding lets me use medium armor stamina while having heavy armor resistance. Democracy Protects prevents bleed out and gives you a 50% chance to not die when taking lethal damage. Siege Ready gives me extra ammo and increases my reload speed. Engineer Kit gives me extra grenades and helps manage recoil for automatic weapons. When I'm fighting bots, I'll swap this to Fortified, trading in the extra grenades for explosive resistance. Peak Physique makes slow weapons like the Dominator snap to targets faster. And Medikit gives you 2 extra stims and 2 extra seconds of regeneration after you stim. I don't use this one anymore, but when I was a new player, this helped offset the damage you would take while learning. When you're ready, head over to the map table. Here you'll see the current status of the Galactic War. In the upper right, we have the Terminids in yellow, in red we have the Automatons, and purple are the Illuminates. To give you the briefest summary of enemies, Terminids are a horde faction, occasionally punctuated by tanks on legs, designed to overwhelm you via numbers and speed. Automatons are heavily armored robots with overwhelming firepower, and Illuminates are a combination of the two, having both hordes and heavy firepower. You can scroll to change the difficulty, though at the beginning you'll be stuck to trivial. Completing a mission at any difficulty will unlock the next highest difficulty. Alternatively, you can get one of your high-level friends to queue up a super Helldive mission for the authentic prostate exam that is Helldivers. Each planet has a specific biome that will affect your experience. Swampy planets will be covered in trees that block sightlines, while desert planets will cause laser weapons to overheat faster. Missions will also have modifiers, ranging from simple things like random blizzards, to hell itself, to something even much worse. If you want to help complete the major order, take a look at the left side of your screen. These are usually about holding a few specific planets, or killing X number of a certain type of enemy. Go to the planets listed, or to the closest one if that planet is currently unavailable. If you want some direction of the best planet to go to, then check the Helldivers companion app and choose the planet with the highest Helldiver population. Or you could just go to whatever planet you want to. You're here to have fun, don't worry about the Galactic War. After you've chosen a planet, a mission, and gotten to your pod, it's time to choose stratagems. You get 4 slots, so get familiar with which ones you have unlocked and choose the best ones for the mission that you are going on. You also have a booster slot. All players on the mission share the benefits of the booster you select. Since there are a max of 4 players, ideally you'll be benefiting from 4 different boosters. The first booster you'll unlock will be the Hellpod optimization found on page 3 of Helldivers mobilization. This is one of the best ones, letting your team spawn with max ammo, grenades, and stims. If you are playing with 4 players, especially inexperienced ones, then someone should always be bringing this booster. When you land, it's time to complete your objectives. Most are self-explanatory: opening up your map, placing a marker where the big orange icons are, running over to them and completing them. There are way too many to go over right now, but if this video does well, I'll make a tutorial on each one. Leave a comment if you'd like to see that. There are also side objectives that don't show up on the map until you get close to them. These show up as cyan and give extra experience and requisitions by completing them. Some also provide help to the mission you're on. Activating the LiDAR station will reveal all secondary objectives and minor points of interest on the map, while loading the Siege Artillery will allow you to fire it as a stratagem. During missions, you'll find samples scattered around the map, normally located at minor points of interest, objective locations, and enemy bases. Points of interest on the map will be hidden until you get close to them. They will appear as this diamond symbol if there are samples at them, and they will turn into this triangle if you've picked up all the samples located there. Samples come in 3 forms: common, rare, and super. Super samples only spawn next to this dick-shaped rock, chicken drumstick, and only on difficulty 6 missions or higher. City maps do not have this rock. Instead, the super samples are found around statues of Helldivers, again only on difficulty 6 or higher. Higher difficulties will have more samples available to find. If you die, you'll drop your sample container on the ground, which can be recovered by anyone. Everyone shares the samples, so it doesn't matter who actually extracts with them, only that someone has them when everybody gets on the ship. On PC, you can hold X to drop your sample container. So a common strategy is, if you happen to be near the extract location with a bunch of samples you don't want to lose, you can drop them there to pick them up later when it's time to leave. This is also a good idea for things like the high value pickup. Samples are used to upgrade ship modulars. These improve everything from giving your airstrikes more bombs, decreasing your cooldown timer on stratagems, making your turrets better, getting more ammo from resupplies, and making your orbitals hit harder. Besides unlocking Warbonds, this will be the longest grind for you, as each upgrade requires a ton of samples to collect. I'd focus on maxing out the Patriotic Administration Center upgrades as all of them improve your support weapons, either giving you more ammo per resupply, decreasing its cooldown, and increasing their reload speed. The hangar betters your airstrikes, with the third level being essential, as it gives you an extra 500 kg bomb per rearm. Engineering Bay and Robotics Workshop all better your sentries and emplacements effectiveness. Sentries are incredibly strong when used correctly, so work towards getting these as well. The first level of engineering should be picked up quickly, decreasing the cooldown of all sentries, emplacements, and mines by 10%. Orbital cannons surprisingly upgrade your orbital strikes. I love everything here, the best one probably being the third level to decrease their cooldown times. Essentially, when it comes to these upgrades, anything that decreases the cooldown time or provides extra uses is goated. Bridge is probably the least important one, with the only good upgrade being the last two. I'd save this tree for last. Let's talk about movement. Crouching and going prone will decrease your weapon's recoil. Going prone will cause Tesla towers to not hit you. While standing or crouching, you can dive, which throws you in the direction that you are moving and sets you to prone. Doing so can avoid attacks like a charger about to hit you, and you get a 50% explosive resistance for the duration of the dive. Crouching and going prone will also decrease the enemy's detection radius, from 45 meters while walking, 25 meters while crouching, and 15 while prone. Enemies have 3 modes when determining if they are aware of you. If they hear sound but do not see a player, they will become suspicious and walk towards the source of the sound. The type of sound and the distance will determine if they react to it. For example, a grenade will cause a loud sound that will attract enemies from pretty far away. They will walk towards where the grenade exploded, not from where it was thrown, making them a good distraction for stealth purposes. They will investigate it for about 20 seconds before returning to their original spot. If they see a player for a moment, they will become alerted, playing a unique animation and alerting any nearby enemies. When an alerted enemy sees a player or walks too close to a hidden one, they will swap to engage, firing or running towards the player. If they lose sight, they will continue to stay engaged, attacking the last known location. The only way to break them out of engagement is to run away and break line of sight. Be careful, as alerted or engaged enemies will automatically set passive enemies to engaged as well. If you lead a group of aggroed enemies near a patrol or a stationary guard post, those would join the horde chasing you. Engaged enemies will also attempt to call in reinforcements. These come in the form of bug breaches, bot dropships, and illuminate dropships. Once an enemy calls in a reinforcement, a hidden timer will start. No enemies can call in additional reinforcements until that timer counts down. The higher the difficulty level, the shorter the time is. For example, on Helldive difficulty, once a bug calls in a bug breach, it cannot call in another bug breach until 90 seconds have passed. Once 90 seconds have passed, it can call it in again. If you haven't defeated the first bug breach, you might have 2 happening at the same time. In addition to reinforcements, there are also randomly spawning patrols that will walk from one edge of the map to the other. It's best to avoid alerting or engaging them if you don't have to, as doing so might draw nearby enemies or cause a reinforcement. Cutting into your resources and mission time. Speaking of mission time, normal missions last 40 minutes. The exceptions to these are Blitz missions lasting 12 minutes, Defense missions lasting 20 minutes, and Eradicate having 15 minutes. However, Defense and Eradicate function differently as enemies come in preset waves, so the timer doesn't really affect you. Most of the time you can complete a mission well within 40 minutes. After you complete the primary objective, the extraction site will show up as an orange arrow on the minimap, and you can use the terminal to call for Pelican 1 to come down and pick you up. Alternatively, you don't have to call down for extraction right away, instead of staying longer to complete secondary objectives for extra XP, or look for more samples. The shuttle normally takes 2 minutes to arrive after you call it, though complex stratagem plotting will increase this to 3 minutes. At least one Helldiver must stay within 50 meters of the terminal until the shuttle arrives. Once it lands, it will open its doors, allowing you to get in. Once one player boards, then you have 20 seconds until it leaves, meaning all players must be near the shuttle when it's time to leave. Though if no players board, then the shuttle timer won't start. If the mission time runs out, then your super destroyer will leave, removing all your stratagems, except for Siege Artillery if you have that, and sending Pelican 1 to extraction. Unlike normal extraction, the shuttle timer will start its countdown regardless if any players have boarded yet. Better to just avoid this by not wasting time. And with that, you've returned to your Super Destroyer. Good job, Helldiver. Now democratically vote for this video and check out my other guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.